Hey everyone, and greetings once again from Radio Wasteland Records. It's time for us to dip our toes in the pool of upcoming releases and see what's on tap for an independent record store near you. Just a sampling though, there's way too many to get into. A huge list of releases as we move further toward the springtime. So we'll hit the highlights, and if you see something you'd like, just contact us here at the store. And if there's something you think you've heard of that might be coming out, just contact us as well. Feel free to visit our website for some contact information. We'll dig up all of that info for you. But without any further ado, let's dive into some of the new releases headed our way for Friday, the 15th of March, 2024. A couple of big ones on the new release front to start us off, and this is something brand new from the Black Crowes, and it's called Happiness Bastards. Our description says that the Black Crowes are leaving the BS in the past. I wonder what they're referring to here. After their last album of original music, the Robinson Brothers present Happiness Bastards, their 10th studio album overall. The description goes on to say, call it brotherly love or musical destiny that brought them back together, but this highly anticipated record, consecrating the reunion of this legendary band, just may be the thing that saves rock and roll. No hyperbole there in the descriptions. So Happiness Bastards, a couple of different variations of this. 180-gram black vinyl coming in at a suggested list price of $25. And there is an indie exclusive version on clear vinyl. That one also listing for about $25. So brand new stuff from the Black Crowes. New stuff also on the way from Justin Timberlake. This is called Everything I Thought It Was. This is the 6th studio album from Timberlake and includes the first single, Selfish, a pop-infused offering driven by its infectious melodies featuring the star's iconic soulful vocals. This is a double LP and a gatefold jacket, comes with a 12x12 insert. Everything I Thought It Was, new stuff by Justin Timberlake. This one coming in at a suggested list price of about $36. On the country side, we've got something new from Casey Musgraves. This is called Deeper Well. This is the 7-time Grammy Award winner's 5th studio album, and the description says it features rolling acoustic guitars, puffy clouds of strings and synth, warm bass punctuations with layered harmonies, and moments of Celtic melody infused as well, but with plenty of room on the tracks for Musgrave's silvery vocals. 2 different versions of this one. Looks like the standard release is coming on cream-colored 180-gram vinyl. That one listing for about $33. And the indie exclusive version is going to be on clear splatter vinyl. Doesn't say what splatter color it is, but that one also listing for about $33. So again, brand new stuff from Casey Musgraves, Deeper Well. If you're going to be looking at this one, make sure you specify which version you're looking for, the cream color or the clear splatter. Next up is a new-ish compilation of some stuff from Anyomoricone. This is called For a Fistful of Westerns. The description says that Anyomoricone is known throughout the world for his connection to the Italian Western film genre, but most of all, he is famous for soundtracks for Sergio Leone's masterpieces, which have entered into popular culture on an international level, and are represented here by iconic themes from films such as A Fistful of Dollars for a few dollars more, Once Upon a Time in the West, and A Fistful of Dynamite, plus many, many others. So this is basically a compilation of Anyomoricone Western music themes, and it's called For a Fistful of Westerns, coming from Light in the Attic Records on orange-colored vinyl, this one listing for about $41. Coming from Cleopatra Records, we've got something called Shadowed Tales from the Mulhouse, coming from the band The Damned. This is the first ever vinyl pressing of a 1994 performance recorded in Mulhouse, France, of the legendary British punk band The Damned. This particular album also features the short-lived lineup of Dave Villain and Rat Scabies, joined by Chris Dollimore from The Godfathers, Moose from New Model Army, and Alan Lee Shaw of Maniacs. So some great big punk names in there. Shadowed Tales from the Mulhouse, coming from The Damned, on haze-colored vinyl. This one listing a little bit heavy, double LP for $47. Here we have something that's being called a true gem of vintage 80s Sunset Strip glam rock from the former video vixen Sally Steele, who was the star of music videos by Loverboy, Eric Carmen, Bruce Willis, and many, many others. This is Alone in Love, 1988 through 1989, by Sally Steele, coming on purple-colored vinyl from Deadline Music and Cleopatra Records. This one coming in at a suggested list price of about $28. Here is one of those Lost Sessions LPs, this one coming from Jethro Tull, and I'm going to massacre the pronunciation of this, the Chateau de Hurville Sessions. And feel free to search on that. Make sure you're fact-checking me on the proper pronunciation. The description says, what seemed to be an ideal choice of a residential studio near Paris turned into a nightmare. The resultant aborted recordings, dubbed the Chateau Disaster Sessions, remained unreleased for many years, but this double LP contains the original 16 tracks, remixed now by Steven Wilson, and a fourth side showing how a handful of recordings did get used on these subsequent Jethro Tull albums. I'm not sure that's a great selling point to say this is the stuff that truly was crappy enough not to be included on a Jethro Tull album, but we're going to release them anyway. It is a double LP coming from Rhino and Parlophone, the Chateau de Hooverville Sessions, the Hooverville Sessions, affectionately known by the band as the Chateau Disaster Sessions. Oh my, black vinyl double LP, as I mentioned, coming in at a suggested list price of $35. But I suppose if you are a die-hard Jethro Tull fan, this could be a piece of history for you. Next up, we've got something from the group Celtic Woman, and this is simply called 20, meaning 20th anniversary. Celtic Woman returns with a brand new album to celebrate the incredible 20-year milestone of the group being together. The 180-gram LP editions feature 11 new recordings and is the group's first new studio album since 2021. It features new arrangements of beautiful and iconic songs, some new compositions, and of course, some fan favorites. A little bit biased because I met Celtic Woman several years back. Great group. Great to see in concert if you ever get a chance to do so as well. But here is 20 from Celtic Woman coming on gold-colored vinyl. This one listing for about $26. And finally, here is a new to vinyl pressing of something that came out originally in 2015. It is from Andrew Bissell, and you may have seen some of the other work, the likes of Prince and some other bands as well. These are Rockabye Baby lullaby renditions, and this time of Taylor Swift music. The description says that restless kids keeping you up at night, parents? Well, shake it off. If you feel like you're never ever going to get back to sleep, spin these lush lullaby versions of Taylor Swift's biggest hits, because a peaceful night of sleep never goes out of style. These are very interesting. It is essentially just very melodic, well, lullaby versions of songs, and in this case, done by Taylor Swift. So this is, as I mentioned, originally released in 2015, so there's some older cuts on there, not some stuff from her newer albums, but more classic Swiftie stuff, if you will. Lullaby renditions of Taylor Swift, part of the Rockabye Baby series. This one coming in at a suggested list price of $29. Some very cool stuff on the reissue front for the 15th of March as well. Let's kick off with something from Cake. This is Pressure Chief, one of their lesser knowns, but it's celebrating its 20th anniversary this year. And this album had key tracks like Wheels and the ever-popular No Phone. Outside of being included in a limited edition Record Store Day box set, this album has never been made available on vinyl before as a standalone item. So Pressure Chief is the fifth studio album by the band Cake, as we said, originally released in 2004. This album continues to showcase the band's unique fusion of different musical styles, including country, pop, rock, and you've got that brass feel throughout as well. So Cake, Pressure Chief, part of this reissue series that Cake is doing, which we're very happy to see, by the way. Black vinyl coming in at a suggested list price of $29. Speaking of cool alternative reissues, here is one coming from Music on Vinyl. It's Rotting Pinata from the band Sponge. Limited edition 180 gram on red and black marble colored vinyl. This is a 30th anniversary edition, and it's of 1,500 individually numbered copies coming from MOV. This is, of course, the Detroit-based rock band Sponge that formed in 1992 and had some of their biggest hits to date, including Plowed and Molly, both of which are on this album. So Rotting Pinata by Sponge, a limited edition from Music on Vinyl on that red and black marbled, and again, this is numbered of 1,500. Coming in at a decent suggested list price for MOV stuff at $39. Next up, we've got a new vinyl pressing of the 1987 album from the massively influential hardcore punk band, the UK Subs. This is AWOL, and it is coming on blue vinyl from Cleopatra Records. The description says that this is the final album to feature the classic lineup of the band the UK Subs, and it has some of the band's most defining songs, such as the fiery Self-Destruct and the Furious Police State, as well as the darker Enemy Awaits. AWOL from the UK subs, a reissue on blue vinyl from Cleopatra, coming in at a suggested list price of about $28. Going back to music on vinyl, we've got another reissue from Alice Cooper. This is Trash on limited edition 180-gram translucent blue and red marble-colored vinyl. This one is also a limited edition and numbered, coming out of 2,500 individually numbered copies. The 35th anniversary of Trash from Alice Cooper from Music on Vinyl, coming in at a suggested list price of about $39. A pair of jazz reissues up next from John Coltrane. We've got Giant Steps, and this is part of the Analog Atlantic series celebrating 75 years of Atlantic Records. I've been hesitant to include some of these things in the weekly release video because they are priced just way out of this world, but we thought we'd throw one of these in at least. The Giant Steps, coming from Analog Productions, coming in at a suggested list price of about $74. And if you're looking for something equally expensive, there is another Analog Productions reissue of Coltrane's My Favorite Things. Again, part of that 75th anniversary series from Atlantic Records. 180-gram, but should sound fantastic. This one is a double LP, and it also has that suggested list price of about $74. Should mention also that Giant Steps is a double LP also. And finally, wrapping things up, we have got a very cool percussion-oriented album, a reissue from Buddy Rich and A La Rocca. This is called Rich A La Rocca. We'll get the pronunciations hopefully in there. Coming from Modern Harmonic Records, so you know they dig deep for a lot of these cool things. I don't have much other information on this other than it's Buddy Rich, and it's got some great cool percussion stuff on there with A La Rocca as well. Looks to be on green colored vinyl, that's what our description says, and coming in at a suggested list price of about $30. And that is a quick check of some of the releases headed our way for the 15th of March, 2024. If you're close by or local here to the Radio Wasteland Records store, just stop by or contact us if you'd like to place a pre-order for anything. Not local, not a problem. You can always connect with us through our website at radiowastelandrecords.com. And as always, please make sure that you hit that subscribe button, like, comment, do all the things that YouTube likes you to do to kind of keep channels like ours up and rolling. We always do appreciate that, by the way. So until next time, this has been Jim from Radio Wasteland. Thanks a lot for being here.